I wanted him to go to Montessori.
How did you know that?
Because I went to Montessori. And so my mother has always championed Montessori education my entire life. And she always said that that's kind of why we were advanced the way we were at such a young age. She kind of always said it was that Montessori foundation. I realized I had to put John in a school that was either charter or private because at the time I wouldn't have qualified income-wise because there were income restrictions, which I didn't know. I just automatically thought that pre-K, as a part of public schools, any parent could send their kids to any program, and that really was not the case. I happened to be in the office one day, and I was waiting to be seen, and the receptionist was talking on the phone to someone about how she tried to enroll her child in school, and she made too much money, and she got turned, and she couldn't. She said, I didn't even know that that was a regulation here. And so I wound up asking her, I said, could you just tell me what you just said? Because I didn't know that there was income restrictions on pre-K. I thought that was just for like Head Start, but not for once you got into the actual public school system. Because I was so specific in wanting him to be a Montessori, it really made my options slim. I did go to Catholic school for a couple of years, so when I started to look at inexpensive private schools, I did visit like one Christian school and 2 Catholic schools. Like, well, maybe I could just send him to my old school. So what I realized was, for me, I wasn't comfortable with a lot of religious activity in his school. So that kind of brought me away from the parochial schools. I knew I wanted a diverse classroom. I didn't want it to be too heavily one way or the other.
Aren't there 2 public Montessori programs in Baltimore City?
So now there is Garrett Heights. But when I was looking, there was only the charter Montessori. I applied for the charter, but like most schools, they have a lottery because so many people apply. And then if you already have a sibling, you get in first. So it's all those lovely things. So John fell at number 5 on the wait list. And my mom's like, that's not bad. And I'm like, nope, we're not getting in, not at number 5. So Live Baltimore contacted me. Maybe 3 weeks before school started, I got an email saying that there was a public school that had a pilot Montessori program for pre-K. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. They still had spaces available. They told you to contact the school if you were interested. So I immediately emailed back to Baltimore. And then I also Googled the school and found their contact page and emailed them as well. So that evening I heard back from Kim from Live Baltimore, and then I also heard back from the principal at Garrett Heights. And I was up there the next day, and I got him in, there were 2 slots left, and he took one. I found that it was kind of hard to find everything in one place. And so I took the most important things, like Montessori, diversity. I love his teachers. I really like the kids in his class. I think that, because this was another big thing, I think that even though they all come from different backgrounds, different religions, as parents, we all have pretty much the same set of morals and standards for their behavior, and so it makes it easy for them to interact and to hopefully eventually bring out the best of each other, because they do all come from similar backgrounds in that way. And I like the school. It feels like a little family once you get there. The principal, the vice principal, even just the staff in general are so willing to work with you to make things better. I just think that right there is kind of key, because you go anywhere and you're gonna encounter some kind of issue, or maybe I don't like this thing, but if you have a staff that's willing to work with you to make it better, then you know you can fix it.
So is there anything you know now about choosing a school for your child that you wished you had known then?
I would have liked a tour of the school if I would have been looking. So for me, because I was so steadfast in the Montessori, I didn't start looking for alternatives until it was kind of late. I felt like the time crunch. It was maybe 2 months before school started. So I feel like I almost rushed through the alternatives. Whereas if I would have given myself, been a little more open-minded in the beginning at maybe some other learning philosophies, I could have looked at more schools from the beginning and given myself a lot more time to actually tour more schools and get a little more comfortable with different facilities. families.
What kinds of things might have deterred you that parents should be open-minded about?
Greatschools.org. You have to be a little, take it kind of, you just don't believe them. It's easy to look at the rating and say, oh no, I'm not sending my child there, which is what I would have done. But when you look a little deeper into the reviews themselves, it becomes a little more clearer as to whether it's a school issue or just the reviewer issue. Don't take the reviews too serious. At least talk to the school first.